Hello there. Interesting intro, right? Hi, how you doing? I just have been still reading this book, The Light That Shines Through Infinity, Zen and the Energy of Life by Dainin Katagiri, and I have to tell you, I really like this one. My previous favorite Dainin Katagiri book was Each Moment is the Universe. I had to go look that up, if you notice a little skip in the video, because I keep thinking it's This Moment is the Universe, or something, anyway, Each Moment is the Universe. That's been my previous favorite, but I'm starting to like this one just as much, if not, I don't know, just as much. I was going to say better, but I think they're both really good, and Dainin Katagiri was a really great Zen teacher. And this section has the rather unlikely title of Not Forgetting Mindfulness, and I'd like to read to you a little bit of it. If you want to travel, there must be a destination toward which you go. If you want to practice precise effort, there must be a target for you to aim at. Now, right now it sounds a little bit unzenish, doesn't it? Let's see where he goes with this. That is mindfulness. This is the target here. Not forgetting mindfulness is the fifth one of Buddha's 8 great awarenesses. I'd have to go look them up to find out what the other 7 are. By making every possible effort to deal with daily life on the basis of having few desires, knowing how to be satisfied, enjoying serenity and tranquility, and exerting precise effort, very naturally you reach the level of not forgetting mindfulness. Okay, those are the other great awarenesses. Mindfulness is characterized by 3 points: peace, harmony, and preservation. The peace of mindfulness is the state of settling the small self in the big self. You can aim at this target every day in whatever you do. For example, the moment when you open a door is your time and opportunity to tune in to the rhythm of life of the door. So when you encounter a door that you must pass through, don't see the door with your limited understanding and open the door carelessly. Open yourself to the door first, then open the door. Pass through and close the door, but not with a bang. Close the door with careful attention. Don't be in a rush. This is the practice of having few desires. Now that's just one paragraph, and he goes on from there, and it's real interesting. I was sort of reminded of the resistance that I've seen in Zen centers where I've been just a participant or when I've been running the place, to some of the established forms in Zen. For example, about doors. When you open a door into a Zendo, there is actually a specific way of how to open the door on the right side or the left side, and I always forget that. But the most important thing, I think, is the bowing. So when you go through the door of the Zendo, you bow at the entrance to the Zendo itself. And I established this as a thing that we did at the Angel City Zen Center, is that when you open the door at the Angel City Zen Center, you bow. Now, I never made that a rule. I never said, you have to do this, or I never called out anybody for not doing it or anything like that. But I told the regulars that this was something we do, and I kind of emphasized it a few times so that everybody knew. So that the people who regularly come in there will always bow as they enter the space. And bowing to the space is important. Also, bowing to the cushion and then turning around and bowing away from the cushion. This became a kind of a thing on our Zoom when we started doing a Zazen on Zoom. And I think I mentioned it on a video before, so forgive me. But people were not bowing. I noticed. They just were like, oh, we're at home, we don't have to bow. And I said, no, that's part of the practice. Part of the practice is bowing to the cushion and bowing away from the cushion. Symbolically, you are bowing towards yourself and towards honoring the cushion itself. And then bowing away is bowing to all the others who are sitting zazen with you. This becomes literal if you're in a crowded zendo, because you're actually bowing to them when you turn away. But see, these things don't matter. What matters is taking a feeling towards the space as if it is a living thing. This is really a key point in Zazen practice, and it's a point in the philosophy, because we regard the entire universe as living. We don't regard the universe as a dead thing that we are living things occupying. we encounter it as if it's all alive. A rock or a stone or this computer or this little tabletop contraption I have. I have this little tiny table that I sit the computer on to get it high enough to see my face and all that stuff. Anyway, all this is living stuff, and we take that literally. And I know that sounds crazy because people will go... I had somebody argue in the comments about that, this is not living. Yeah, okay, if you want to say that. So that is really important, and Katagiri Roshi makes a really similar point in Each Moment is the Universe regarding a toilet, regarding how to use the toilet as if it is a living thing and it deserves your respect and honor. Dogen also talks about that in Shobogenzo. So let's move on a little bit. Here's another line here from the same paragraph, or section. Your body and mind is not only yours, but also the body and mind of others. So before you open a door, forget your small self. Don't grumble. Settle yourself into the big self. Face the door and just see it. See the door as Buddha. When you forget yourself and just open the door, at that time your life is really confirmed and supported by the door, your circumstances, the people around you, and all beings. Then your life is broad, universal life, because it contains not only the door, but also all sentient beings. And sentient beings, as I've mentioned before, is kind of a stock way of saying it. Sentient beings includes insentient beings, and there's a passage in Shobogenzo, the insentient preach the Dharma, which is all about that. But I would like to also call your attention to the ending of this section. I put this up on Instagram a couple of days ago. For those of you who bother to follow me on Instagram, it's not great, but sometimes I put things on Instagram. I often take pictures of pages of books that I'm reading that I happen to like. He says, "We have to learn how to tune in because what we do influences ourselves and others. When you get up in the morning, you don't get up by yourself. Your getting up is activity that connects all beings, influencing all beings, so it must be activity that is confirmed by all beings and helping all beings. When your activity is peaceful and your life is harmonious, it is called right mindfulness, or not forgetting mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness as an awareness of enlightenment is unifying your mind. Zen practice retreats are called sesshin, and that's a kind of a little sticker for me. People want to... The resemblance between the word sesshin and session is close enough that people think I'm calling them Zen sessions, but no, it's a Japanese word, sesshin, and here Katagiri Roshi will explain that word. In Japanese, ses is to collect or put together, and shin is the mind. So the meaning of sesshin is to unify the mind. That mind is the one mind of the universe, which is now your mind." Let's read that again. That mind is the one mind of the universe, which is now your mind. If you could penetrate into that, let me know. I'll give you Dharma transmission. Your unified mind is lots of minds, collected as one. This is called mindfulness. This mindfulness is your destination, your great target to aim at. So settle your small self in the big self. Submit yourself to the rhythm of the universe and continue doing this under all circumstances. Very naturally, you will open your eyes and hit the bullseye. Immediately you realize your life in peace and harmony and dwell in the Dharma. Dwelling in the Dharma means there is transparency between the universe and you. Dwelling in the Dharma means there is transparency between the universe and you. The universe shines through the transparent you is another way I like to think of that. A door and you, or breathing and you, and he talks about breathing earlier in this. This is called Samadhi, or one-pointedness. This sublime state of being is what we are seeking for. Again, real good stuff, and real good stuff follows that and precedes that, so I highly recommend the book as a book if you want to study what Zen philosophy is all about. And just a little side note on books. I've been reading more books lately on Zen philosophy. I went through a period there where I didn't like to read Zen books or Buddhist books unless it was something I was working on, because it began to feel like work. Now, of course, I was always working on Zen, so It doesn't mean my Zen reading slowed down all that much, but I wasn't reading them just for the sheer enjoyment of it. I was reading them when I had something to specifically work on. And in the last few months, I've started getting back into just reading them for the sheer joy of reading them, and I find this one is real good for that. Some Zen books are very, very difficult and very dense and very dry, and take a lot of work. This one doesn't take a lot of work to get into, and I think it's a good one for that, and maybe could act as a starter for when you want to eventually graduate to the drier, denser, harder books. There you go, my recommendation for reading and some interesting stuff about mindfulness from Katagiri Roshi. If you want to contribute to my being able to read more books and tell you more stuff about books, you can donate using the link below. You'll find the Patreon and PayPal direct links there, or if you're on YouTube, the direct links to Patreon and PayPal are right below this video. That is my only source of income right now, and I really appreciate those of you who keep donating. But if you are having financial trouble, do not donate to me, please. Leave it alone. I'll be okay. I'm hanging in there. Everything is pretty good so far, but it's pretty good because people do keep contributing, so thank you very much for that. See you next time. Have a good time all the time. Bye.